guys put in over the last month. The start, how disappointing was that?
Well, we obviously, we go into a game like this, we can't turn the ball over like we did. This is football, and the number one deal is ball security and taking care of the football. And, especially on a road against a team like this, we can't make those mistakes. And, obviously we made an adjustment there when we weren't improving. And, Taylor got his opportunity to go in there. We were able to adjust some things and get some drives going there. Obviously, he was able to do some things with his leg that gave the offense a little bit of a spark and was able to spread the defense out a little bit. But the bottom line is you can't turn the ball over like that, especially in those situations where we're throwing in the double coverage or overthrowing guys. So very difficult situation to start out there. But the guys, they're persistent and trying to find a way to get ourselves back in that game late there.
What was the thought process in going to Talon as quickly as you did?
There were 3 turnovers early on in the game.
It can't be easy to bench a 4-year starting quarterback. I mean, how tough was the decision on your side, and what was Hank's reaction to it?
You know what? Given the situation we were in, with how many turnovers we had and the lack of offensive production being put, we had to make an adjustment. And to be able to put Taylor in there, for him to have his opportunity to run the offense and try to spark and get us going, it was a move we had to make.
What did you see positive out of Talon tonight?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is his ability to extend plays with his legs. We were excited at the fact that he took what the defense gave him and stayed on most of his progressions and made the throws. And the beautiful thing with Taylor is if it's not there, he can extend plays with his legs, and he obviously did that. He made some really good plays, got some first downs, had obviously the long touchdown.
So what do you do at that position moving forward?
Yeah, so we'll see as we go back and we analyze the film and we see where we're at and see if we can continue to improve with Hank or find out what we need to do. But I know it's a short week, so we're going to jump back at it. The competition starts tomorrow morning when the sun comes up.
Why do you think Hank's
He's never got himself in rhythm, and there were some simple reads. We threw into double coverage on one of them on a shot play. We don't make that throw. We don't throw the ball just up like that. We overthrew in another situation, and we were holding the ball too long in the pocket. And when it's a 5-man protection, scout pro, we can't hold the ball that long in the pocket. Otherwise, bad things are going to happen. I actually thought the O-line did a pretty good job protecting today and holding up there, given some of the situations that we were in. So we could just never get ourselves in rhythm early on, and so the move with TG actually helped spread the defense out a little bit more and get some things going.
How do you kind of keep? He kind of asked, how do you keep Hank, motivated and into it? And obviously, like you said,
I'll just say, it's competition.
Yeah.
There's guys got to respond. Hank's got to respond. Hank has to be better. That's the bottom line. He has to be better, and that's what we're here to help him do. But so does Taylor Green. So does Sam. So there's plenty of other guys that play tonight that need to be better. So that's what it's all about, is the growth over the season. It's the first game. Did we prepare to be our best and to win this game? Yes, we did. Did we do that tonight? We did not. But the biggest thing is that this is the first game of the season. We're going to be able to use this as an experience to grow forward.
Andy, you're not.
KB felt like George needed a breather.
But in general, though, George struggled to run the ball tonight. You guys did in general, other than a couple of Talon's runs. Why were you able to get much going?
Yeah, they were getting a lot of penetration inside, in the interior of the offensive line, and so being able to get some things. That's what I'm talking about. Spread it out a little bit more, perimeter a little bit, and that's obviously why we went that direction down there. In the low red zone is because we weren't able to win inside very often. So again, at the end of the day, it's ball security, being able to hold on the ball, break tackles, make tackles, and we got to do a better job. We obviously, as coaches, we will make sure that we continue to emphasize these things.
Chance Nolan hit a couple deep balls. Obviously, Markel goes down in the first quarter, but what did you see out of the secondary tonight? It seemed like they started slow, got a little better.
Well, I will say this, we knew going into the game that was going to be the strength. that was gonna be a serious challenge with the matchups that they create. Putting multiple tight ends in the game, and if you go back and look at the film, there's two-man routes, so everybody's protected. So to get to the quarterback is extremely difficult, which we knew going into the game that was gonna be the case. And, we have to do a better job of playing with better eye control in the secondary and being able to handle our coverage a lot better than what we did today, because in some of those situations, again, when they're two-man routes and everybody's protecting, there's some, and the quarterback's, 10 yards back there, it's gonna be very difficult. That is one of the best things they do. Now, and one of the things that early on that I thought the defense did a really good job was being persistent given the situations, as a team that we were in.
As I said, they were kind of put in a lot of tough situations.
Yeah, you're not taking on that many shots if we're not in that many situations. Early on in the game, thought they did a really good job against what will be a really good running offense this season. That will be an offense that rushes for a lot of yards. And the defense did a really good job handling the run game, was able to create some takeaways as well early on. That's something that was, we got to be better and eliminate some of those explosive pass plays, but I thought that we did a good job on defense creating takeaways.
How much did Markel going down just hurt that secondary?
Yeah, especially when that was the biggest concern coming into the game, is being able to fend off their vertical pass game, in their max protection situations. And so, yeah, that's a tough one, obviously for Markel and for the whole team. And we love him and everything that he's done to come back and compete and obviously get himself to the point he was, in this first game.
Obviously, you mentioned it being a short week. You got to turn the page quickly. Obviously, not the start you guys wanted. How does this team regroup for next week?
Yeah, sometimes short weeks are just what you need, because you don't have time. You don't have time to sit and sulk over whatever was. Now it's about finding out what are the real things that we can get better at starting tomorrow when that sun comes up, and it's a whole new week. And we start off with a Sunday that is also a Monday, and so we've got to be really good about how we take care of our bodies, our minds, and be able to put our best foot forward as we move into next week.
You mentioned Markel, feeling bad for him. Austin too. It didn't look good, but just with what he's gone through the last couple of years, to get a chance to have maybe some significant playing time this year, is that tough to see too?
Yeah, that's for any one of our guys that get injured. Obviously, the magnitude that Austin was injured tonight, it's it's hard. It's hard. It's not easy. We love all these guys and what they do and how hard they work. And there's a guy bolts the first one down there on kickoff every time we take a rep in practice in the games, and so we love him, and we can't wait to get him fixed up, get him healed up, and he's going to be a really good Boise State Bronco wide receiver in the future.
Just to get back to Taylon, to see some of the things that he can do with his legs. How much of an added dimension could that be for this offense? And that 74-yarder was something else.
As soon as he took off on the 74-yarder, Cloud was like, he's going to run, and he's going to run for a long time. And no one caught him. So I think that answers your question. And that's the other dynamic that we felt like, when we sit here, what was the thought process? That's the thought process. A guy can do more and extend plays when, there's nothing there.
Do you think him being able to make it a 10-point game there in the fourth quarter, do you think that gave him a little confidence?
Sorry, say that again.
Him pulling it, helping you guys pull within 10 early in the fourth quarter, do you think that gave him a little confidence?
I think that obviously gave at that point, we gave up another score, but we missed the run fit there that could have kept us tight in the game and been able to execute some special teams, situations at the end would have put us right in it. But yeah, it gave him confidence to be able to move the ball. He moved the ball better, at the end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter than we did, in the whole first half. We had, I think we were 0 for in third down conversions in the first half, so just to be able to see him do what he did in the second half, I think gave a lot of the players, excited.
You can get it done and don't have to kind of shifted what you're gonna do like last
No,
year?
very confident. I would think very confident in what we're doing on offense.
If there's a positive, you guys did force 3 turnovers today. Had 2 others overturned. I mean, you feel like that's something you can build on moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think the guys played really hard, and that's a result of it. Obviously, we've got to clean a few things up with our, within our coverage on some of these play action passes. But you know what? Early on there, Zeke's hit on the running back that caused that fumble. That was a big time play. Now, and again, this is going to be an offense that puts up a lot of points against people. A run game that is, last year they rushed for over 200 yards a game. So there are some positives there, but here's the deal. It's always about the little things. And if it starts with taking care of the ball, and if you don't take care of the ball, it is going to be extremely difficult to be successful. At the end of the day, that is football.
What was the conversation? How did you tell, Hank that he was sitting in Talon that he was playing?
It's pretty easy, Jordan. I mean, it's like, Hank, yeah, but we gotta help the team out here. It's not like, it's not like a long drawn out conversation.
Last question, if somebody's got one.
I know I brought up this fumble, but overall, I mean, Ashton got a lot of snaps tonight. He did do some nice things. What did you think about how he did? And it seems like he's going to play definitely have a role moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're not gonna. No one's gonna be defined by one player. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's about being consistent, and that's what we've obviously got to be able to do with not only Ashton, but as a whole team. But it was very encouraging. I think everyone can see the type of ability that Ashton has, both running the ball and the ability to do some things out of the backfield as a wide receiver.